Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone around the world. I am Paul Sisler, and this is In the Moment. Hello, 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 world. Glad to see everybody is just up and enjoying the day. It's a beautiful day. Now, I am back. I am back from my hiatus. I'm still finishing up my book, so we'll get that completed. But now we are coming in here with episode 33 of the Flow, Triumphing into Victory. And here we have Shadow Fox. Hello, Shadow Fox.
Hey, hello, welcome everyone. Hey, he's off of his hiatus, and just because he took the hiatus, he strung me along. So I kind of went bye-bye too. So I'm back. I think he's a little more in than I am, so I may screw shit up here, but that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to put out a trigger warning because we are talking about cancer today. And a lot of people have different views on what they deal with and stuff like that. What I would ask our viewing audience is please take the time, listen to what's being said, and don't take anything as offensive. It's not meant to be offensive and all that because people go through different things in different ways. And I will address that more at the end because I myself, my wife, passed away from cancer. So we will have that discussion. I want to introduce our special guest today, Jackie Reynolds. Hello, Jackie.
Hi,
And
Hello,
how are you
hello.
doing today?
I'm fabulous. Super excited about this.
All
Yes,
right.
actually, I am also, and I would also just like to put out there that what we're speaking about, this is going to be a little bit about what Jackie's journey was and her stepping into the triumph and the victory. Please recognize that there are many different avenues when people are dealing with cancer. Some go traditional, some go non traditional. So, with this, just recognize it's still going to come around to the utilization of energy, what we focus on, so on and so forth. So, with that, Jackie, seriously, I've met you in spaces. We've held spaces
Mm.
in many different capacities, and I will tell you that the courage and the dedication and everything that you had posted on your Twitter account is just amazing. And if you guys have never met, Jackie Reynolds on Twitter Spaces, I would highly recommend you seek her out because this woman carries a strength
Mm.
of like, I mean, really, the encouragement she brings forward, and this is part of that journey. So, with that, Jackie, welcome to the flow.
Thank you so much. This is gonna be a wonderful opportunity to share my story and also, hear Paul's and other people and how they were affected with people who've had experience with someone who has breast cancer personally, or someone who does have cancer. So it's something that I think affects a lot of people, and the principles that I live by can really be um, go well with being able to triumph over other aspects of hardships, not just cancer, but in life in general. So I live my life based upon love and gratitude and positivity. And I think that by using certain principles to overcome how I did my challenge, I think it would help other people like overcome their challenges as well. I'm an extraordinarily private person. I decided to share my cancer journey in the hope that if I could give hope to somebody else to figure out how they could go to cancer. And, it's one of those things that it's a very personal story that I shared. I shared me losing my hair. I showed myself celebrating life, dancing before and after chemotherapy. There's just different aspects that I shared that I've really gotten feedback that my courage and the way that I've approached this hardship has inspired people, and that was my goal.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that seriously, just the dedication and the courage of that, and even that vulnerability, and when you are doing more along the lines even of the traditional, the chemicals that they use really, you get sick. You know, sometimes it's just like, oh my gosh, goodness, and yet you would come in, you'd listen to the spaces. Talk about that a little bit, about how you were able to utilize um, um, that part of the community
The
in
community,
the
is that what you said?
yeah,
Yeah, Shadow Fox, you need to get a little closer to your mic and all that. You sound like you're talking underwater.
I thought
oh
I
my,
couldn't hear properly. I
I
was like, oh
wonder if it's
no.
hang,
Um,
hang up. Go ahead.
yeah, so Twitter offered me experience to connect with people all over the globe at any time. And there were times of great sickness where I literally couldn't speak, but I would listen to spaces like Shadow Fox and Diana's space, Journey Within. And I love thinking about new ideas and expanding my mind. And this was an opportunity to talk to people throughout the world and learn. But
Yeah,
not only learn, like I found great friendships. Like off Twitter, it's not just the fact that I utilize Twitter, it's the fact that I could build these amazing relationships with people. I never thought I would use Twitter in general. And
yeah,
then I came on Twitter for a business meeting and I didn't want to, and then that started my journey. And like when I hear people on Twitter when we're communicating about a variety of ideas, like I know a lot of us are in many different types of spaces, spiritual, or if it's business or AI or whatever, we try to use our it's access to connect with people. And I feel truly blessed in my life to have met Shadow Fox and our community. And Paul, it's been wonderful. Your poems are amazing, and I can't believe you can do them on the spot like that. So that's just pretty incredible. So we're sharing our lives, we're sharing our passions, and now my purpose for wanting to help people in the world. So it's been a wonderful experience thus far.
Yes, yes. Now we have a video that if you or Shadow Fox could give context to it before I play it.
go ahead, Jackie.
Do you want to go Shadow Fox? Okay, so
No, no, go for it.
okay. Um, so I did 16 rounds of the most intensive type of chemotherapy, and it was my fourth round, and it was extraordinarily difficult. I mean, really, really, really sick. And I was actually in spaces that day because I decided to focus my attention on beautiful thoughts. And that was in Shadow Fox and Diana's space that day. So I was inspired because no one knew why I was mainly on a listener panel for a while, because I didn't want to tell people certain parts of my journey. Like before I found out I was going to live from cancer, I didn't want to tell anyone. But when I was in Diana's and Shadow Fox's space, I recorded myself with me
It was in
talking
the
about
background.
how, what?
Yeah, it was in the background. You can hear it
Yeah.
in the video. You can hear people, other people speaking in the space as she's recording because she has it playing in the background. I love it.
Well, so I was too sick to speak that day. I couldn't even like text back my aunt or anybody, but I always wanted to show like that. I always say this, but you never know who's in the listener panel, who's in the
Yep.
speaker panel, or how far your message will be traveling or what you're getting them through. So when I was taking this video, it was the first time that I was going to show the fact that I was completely bald. um, and that vulnerability was because of all of our conversations about it's not just our physical appearance, but it's like within. So
Yes.
I recorded it, and it's pretty phenomenal because I never posted it. And then Shadow Fox was like, "Oh my God, you had that!" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I have the
It
video
truly
from
is.
that experience."
It truly is powerful. And just to give a little backstory to this, the day that Jackie had recorded it, it was on, I believe, the March 18th. And my daughter, who has transitioned into spirit, her birthday is on the 19th. So it was the 18th and the 19th, right? Then, as we were getting ready to do this show, because Paul, we were planning on, the date and so on and so forth. Well, I happened to reach out, or Jackie reached out. Either one of us, we reached out, and my daughter's death day was September 2nd, and we spoke the day before about doing this show. And so it was really kind of neat because I think my daughter really had a major hand in bringing this together. And Jackie was like, "Oh, I was always hoping to be on your show and manifested this." And it's like, so there's other people who may like to be on the show. Please reach out to either Paul or myself. Um, but honestly, I think that when we look at the context and all of the synchronicities that come together, that bring people together to share perhaps a common message, our major thing all the way across the board, and Jackie is a very, very strong component on this, is to help and assist other people and, encourage and just empower them to persevere. And so this segment truly is triumphing into victory. And so, Paul, if you could please, and I hope you got the very end part of that. Yeah, I hope you got the very end part of that.
Okay.
But so here you go.
Yes,
And
yes.
and Jackie will put this on in full, the full one on her Twitter space.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I was
perfect.
going to say. She's going to put it on her Twitter space. And before I play it, I just want to let people know that are watching via Twitter Live. I do have Twitter Live up on my phone right here. So if you make a comment on Twitter Live, I can try to bring it up if you have questions for Jackie, Shadow Fox, or myself. So, anyways, here we go with the video.
I was in Shadow Fox's and Diana's space, the stage, Michael's space, and I was so sick. But the perspectives got me through, like the love and light and all of that, and expanding my mind and bettering myself and taking my attention off my internal sickness. I had 2 hours of chemo yesterday, and I had 3.5 hours in urgent care last night. So I was a full day of figuring out how to get through this, but I would focus on the positive perspectives. Like, I got to hang out with my sister, and I love my chemo nurses, and then I utilized the moments that I did feel well. And then I went to urgent care for 3.5 hours, and I had a phenomenal nurse who was so nice to me and kind. And then this morning, and I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm on bipolar meds, chemo, antibiotic now for what I have, and all of it. But what got me through today is that, and then I started listening to an AI chat that you hear in the background. And what makes me unique that AI can never take is who I am, how I get through things, and how I can have the power of my mind as a human, to live as a human, to adapt, to get through. Positivity, love, gratitude. It's hard. I struggle today. Like, be a thief. But like, thank you guys that are in my life. You don't even know when I'm on a listener panel on Twitter Spaces. I'm too sick to even speak. That happened today. In my opinion, it's happened the last 3.5 months. I love talking, but I couldn't even talk to my aunt. Like, when she had texted me last night, I just couldn't do it. So, oh my God. I mean, you are unique. Every single person is unique. The best way is learn how to optimize it. And you have the power of choice. And I always win. But I want to also share what makes you
talking about persevering and utilizing. I mean, Jackie, you made this video and you were just, I mean, come on, coming from the hospital and you were sick, and yet, you know, you utilized being in that space. And then all of a sudden, it's like, and yet, here you did this video and speaking encouragement and recognizing and standing in your own truth. And that is the power. You know, I don't care how bad somebody tries to beat you up and do anything. Like, you get that. You know, you can just grab a hold of it by your bootstraps if you have to. And wow, I mean, please take the mic, man. Let's seriously.
Leading by example, because I say these principles on spaces and to my IRL friends, family, but I live by these principles.
Yep.
And I mean, that's what I was saying in the video. I was using the power of my mind, and Shadow Fox talks about that in another way, like in similar ways, but also a way to apply it in a different way. And that's the whole purpose, is like, we are humans. We are all unique. We are all facing our internal battles, whatever it might be. Like, there were people that didn't want to like tell me what they were going through because I was going through chemotherapy and being tortured to stay alive, basically. Worth every minute of it. But everyone is going through their own thing. And I think that when we know that we can, like I said at the beginning of this podcast, is that, utilize them. They're there.
Yeah.
And I said in the video, it is hard at times. I'm not saying it's a walk in the park, even though I have a lot of practice.
I want to interject here before you go on, Shadow Fox, because I was watching your facial expressions as I played that video. And I could see you pierce your lips a few times, and I could see the pain in your eyes. What were the thoughts going through your mind when you were watching that? And I don't know how many times you probably watched it, but here you are, you're seeing that, you're sharing that vulnerability, and I again tip my hat to you. This is a very courageous, aspect to present to the world. What were you thinking while that video was playing?
I was proud of myself. I made it. And I mean, we just talked about it, but I lead by example, and I'm proud of that. Like, I admit that it can be hard, and I admit the power of these principles, ways to live life. And when I watched that video, obviously I'm bald, no makeup, no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and whatever. But it starts off with the actual video of my mouth. And I'm speaking, so you don't know I'm bald. He cut to the perfect point for showing about Shadow Fox's space and interaction with that. But I'm speaking, and you just see my mouth, so you're hearing my words, and then it goes out to my face. And I never had the courage to go outside bald, ever. Like, I am a girl that is dolled up. I have a wig on, fake eyelashes, like, nice dress, I am dolled up. But I wasn't able to the complete bald look. Like, I commend women that can do that. But my courage to show that online. Like, for me, not being able to show that, I couldn't even go to my car without putting my wig on or a hat. Because I'm not that I'm vain. I appreciate my appearance. But it's a way I represent myself is someone that's put together. But showing this vulnerability of myself with no hair, to me, that's powerful, because I was not okay with it in reality. Now it's out there.
I just want to let you know, you come on here, you're beautiful. You got a beautiful smile. You got these big, beautiful eyes. And I just want to let you know, if you were to go out in public, like the video, you're still beautiful. You're still beautiful. And you can pull that off. So
even in a row.
Yes, you can pull that off.
Funny you say that. So I've been with my man for 3.5 years, and he would look at me. He's like, I've never seen like someone pull off being bald. Like, you are so beautiful. And I was like, that's just because you're super in love with me. And he's like, no. He's like, your eyes are so like popping and you're just gorgeous.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is a part.
But I didn't see that. And I was just like, you know, I didn't see that in myself. And I just thought that true love sees through appearances.
Everything.
And I thought that was happening. So it's interesting that you say that.
Listen, Jackie, hang on a minute, because there is something that is very important that really has to be stated here. And it is, you know, there are people that create their persona or their identity around, you know, their look, whether it be their hair or their, you know, the style of clothes, or, you know, yeah, okay, you can, you know, if you're going into a board meeting, perhaps you may choose to wear, you know, dress or shoes or dress up or whatever. You're not going to wear, you know, barn boots or whatever. But the point is that that's not the hair, the makeup, or clean shaven means absolutely nothing to who we truly are. And so many people put so much value of wealth around their appearance. You know, it's like, even if, you know, people are aging, for instance, it's like, embrace that. You know, it doesn't mean you have to continue to age. I mean, there's things that you can do internally and intuitively and through thought. But I think it's very important because many of us as a society value who we are, that outward appearance, but yet they don't care about how they present themselves with anger or frustration or worries or fears, and they just puke that out into the world, right? But boy, oh boy, we got it. We got it. I'm all right, man. I got my hair going here, and yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm all ready, man. Think of it. This part where you came through, it wasn't even so much, it was like the bringing that genuine aspect of you, and also the authenticness. You know, the genuine part is the part of our humanness. The authenticity is that of our spiritual side. And in a moment, Jackie, you truly brought and blended both.
Oh,
And so, I mean, I'm serious. And
thank you. That is a huge compliment.
This is one of the points that I'd really like to bring forward. And Jackie, very briefly, okay, the one of the reasons why you ended up stepping in very quickly and having to go in with the traditional, because you listened to your intuition. You knew something was up. And can you tell that little bit of a story? Because actually, I was just in a space a little bit ago, and someone was speaking on a personal issue and going into the doctors and so on and so forth, and how they just kind of have to, they're going to label you with something. They're going to diagnose you so they can get paid, whether you're in a physical you know, a medical doctor, or psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. They have to have a diagnosis in order to get billings. Okay, I'm sorry, that's the way the universe works in this part of the country. And you just recognizing and not taking that everything's going to be okay. Can you talk about that? Because it really is that part of listening to yourself and standing up for yourself and then moving forward. It's a beautiful aspect of this process.
I tend to worry, like, that happens in my life when I go through things, but this was very different. I didn't give myself exams, breast exams, to see if what it would be like before or after, but I was laying down and I had felt my chest, and I knew there was something really wrong. Like, I felt it, and then my heart was like, uh-oh.
Yep.
So that was on a Friday, and then, well, on Thursday night I found it, and then Friday, but I went to the my gynecologist's office. She wasn't there that day, so I had a nurse practitioner. The receptionist was amazing. She got me in, and right away, and that was just something that I needed. I don't talk about this part of my story because I've had the most incredible medical team that has saved my life. But to answer your question about, really saved my life. But to answer your question about my initial intuition, is that I had a physical exam and the nurse practitioner was not concerned. And she said to come back in a certain amount of time. And if I would have followed that, I wouldn't be here today. My cancer was so aggressive that I really wouldn't be sitting here. So I self-advocated for myself. I followed my intuition, and I was like, no, I need a mammogram.
Yeah.
I said it politely. And she's like, well, it's not really that necessary. I was like, no, I need a mammogram. This is not okay. I've not breastfed. I've never had in my life. I got a physical exam, a womanly exam, 8 months prior. So I knew something was wrong. And I'm the type of person that I will go after what I want, in the sense, like, I knew this was wrong. I needed help with it. And
you
then,
just had that feeling? You had that feeling?
Yeah, no, I knew it.
Yeah.
And I was following my instincts, and I had nothing against the nurse practitioner. She was very nice, but she was not right as far as her diagnosis of it being okay. But then I got a mammogram and ultrasound, biopsies, and I was it was right before Thanksgiving, and that's my family holiday. But I want to emphasize that the rest of my journey was a wonderful medical staff that saved my life.
Yeah.
But I did follow my intuition when I knew something was wrong. I was told it's not okay, and I knew it wasn't. So that's when I followed up, and I'm very proactive in my life. I'm a go-getter in my career or anything that I set my mind to. So if y'all think that there's an intuitive aspect to yourself, Shadow Fox talks about being intuitive in her spaces, and that she's well versed in that. That is what I'm working on. I think that there are people like Shadow Fox that are phenomenal at that aspect, but we do have that ability to tap into. I'm a firm believer in this, yet I've not mastered being able to do it myself. There's actually people in Twitter spaces that are talking about that, but that might be off topic. How to actually hear your inner self, how to get more intuition, but that can go for another day.
Yeah. Well, honestly, Jackie, if anybody's out there that's listening, that may be at those, crisis points, or perhaps they're fearful to step forward and be, checked out or examined or whatever. In any case, and please, and I'm going to say this again, there are many different avenues for treatment. The traditional, and in Jackie's case, the traditional was really a requirement because of the time frame involved. But there are many different things, from food, and just look on the internet. I'm sure it would lead you somewhere for treatment that would be appropriate for you. But in any case, no matter whether we're speaking, breast cancer or colon cancer or any cancer, there are people and there are doctors who are doing the research, that there are very effective ways, I just say. But I've done my research. I've looked just because of my, cancer does run in my family. And once this internet came out, I'm not the greatest researcher in the world. It takes me a little while to get through stuff. But I definitely had some very valuable help in getting the information that I had required. And like I said, it is out there, but you have to follow your own intuition and work with this. This is what, I mean, Jackie's story, her experience, and just, I mean, wow. I mean, if this doesn't show the aspect of triumphing and stepping into victory, she's here. She is presenting. She is, I mean, look at, she doesn't have a robe on, and like thick, and
Oh.
you'd be able to pull that off in a robe, trust me. But I just think that I don't know, Paul, if anybody has any comments or if there are any questions from anyone.
Well,
Can I interject really fast?
we've had tons of comments. I'm sorry, what'd you ask, Jackie?
Can I interject really fast?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I am a firm believer what Shadow Fox said. I am not just here today because of my traditional medical treatment.
Yeah.
What I said in the video, my mindset,
Yep.
how you eat, what you drink, everything affects you. Your energetics, there's so many aspects, and there's so many ways like Shadow Fox is dealing it. There's holistic medicines, there's acupuncture, there's so many ways that someone can approach the healing, but there also is a very big place for also traditional medication when it comes down to that. But I mean, I commend many people who can through their journey. And one of the things that we were talking about triumphing, I had to figure out a word that I didn't resonate with fighting. I had to figure out a word I could say when I was going through cancer. And throughout all of my videos, I said I was triumphing because I was, but that goes back to the mindset of like thinking that you're triumphing throughout the entire thing and saying it. Because we talk about in Shadow Fox's space, spelling, you're creating your reality through your words.
Yeah.
You talk about fighting all the time, you'll still be fighting.
Yeah, it's a continuation. And the other thing too is when somebody chooses to fight something, that usually tends to fight back. And this was one of the biggest pet peeves that I've ever had in my entire life, especially revolving around health or wellness, right? Why in the hell would we ever choose to fight a disease? The disease is going to do what it's going to do, right? You're going to have a continuation. Is that the only word in the dictionary that we can truly utilize? I mean, how about eradicate, heal, eliminate, triumph? I mean, victory.
But
I mean,
if I would have said healing cancer, my mind would always have to be healing cancer.
exactly.
So I'm really particular with my words. Like I love when we talk about that as far as manifestation, creating a reality. Also, like the words affect your energetics, and like one of the reasons why Shadow Fox wanted to talk about that, is because that affects your life, and the power of one's words. So what were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought that was important.
Seriously, and I just have to make a mention here because I got to pull Paul into this very quickly because early on when Paul and I started working together, I mean, in this capacity, okay, the sharing, it's not really work, it's fun. You never know what you're going to get on my side, okay? But
in the best of ways, Shadow Fox.
But Paul, works within a lot within the political or government scenes. I mean, he's written a book, The Red Herring Effect, and the only thing that I can say is when I started speaking to him and I says, answer me this. When politicians come and they're looking and seeking for your vote and they knock on your door and they say, yes, vote for me and I'll fight for you. It's like, why? There's too much damn fighting over there. Get something done. Be the solution. Offer it, because fighting is nothing more than a continuation thereof. It's the energy just keeps right on going. So nothing's getting solved. Nothing's getting fixed. There is no resolution. And when I brought this to his attention, he was like, oh, holy shit. Yeah. And now he's enveloped that idea or perception, and for him to release that word out of his vocabulary was really quick. And so when we have when we can see a word and we can see what the resonance is and what the end result could be
Yeah.
from that word, most people don't pay attention. And they say, oh, the words don't matter. Well, yeah, they kind of do. And if you keep saying, I'm fighting cancer, then you're right. You're going to continue to fight cancer. Go for it. That's your
Yeah.
choice. But you will continue to fight it. If you say, I am done, I'm eliminating it. It is no longer has power in my life. Those things we can tell ourselves, and it sets that frequency, it sets that energy up. Because guess what? I got news for everybody. Okay, this is groundbreaking. I've only spoken about it forever. Okay, our cells in our body respond to our thoughts and our feelings.
Totally.
If we step into fear, if we step into worry, if we step into like the criticisms, like this can never, let me just say that cuts off that source energy. It cuts off the healing construct. And I mean, it took a lot of mental, mental acuity for Jackie when she's so sick because of the medication, but yet she was able to listen to the spaces or listen to music, or just for that brief moment she would have that mental acuity say, no, I'm greater than this. This is
Well,
no longer
it was
going.
a power of focus. Like, I'll just tell you
Yes.
as it is. One time I was in a space, I was throwing up in a trash can, doing my laundry. But what I was doing was I was focused. I have the power to focus on what I want. I have the power to focus on something. So I was training my
Yep.
mind not to feel my sickness. And sometimes I couldn't help it, you guys. We talked about that. But my
Yeah.
focus was on this. And like, I want to say this because Paul and I were on a chat with Shadow Fox. If you can affect that one person, that one domino effect that I always talk about, and at Shadow Fox, I know that you have your ideas about reality and things like that, but you make a difference. You made such a difference in my life, and you got me through a lot, even when I was listening and you didn't know that I really was listening. So when we have those people that make a magnitude in our life, we talk about gratitude. That is a gratitude moment to you, Shadow Fox. Like, that is a true example. And I manifested being on here. I didn't want to be I didn't want to ask. I wanted to be asked. So when Shadow Fox asked me, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
And you did it. Yes. And my daughter definitely had a play in this. Just even if you're looking at the dates, she was
Yeah.
involved somewhere. I mean, it was her birthday and her death day, and yet here you were, a sick day and then the healthy day. So you have the absolute yin and yang, the opposites in every, you know what I mean? And it just brings it full circle when you really think about it. I mean, we're talking energy, so yeah, it brings it into a beautiful close, and that is, Jackie being victorious.
A what?
It's truly victorious.
Oh,
Victory.
victorious. Yes,
Gaining that.
I'm very
Victorious.
victorious.
Yes. And I must say, um, in our space, Journey Within, which is happening today at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. The one thing that I will say is, my partner, Diana Bishop, we have worked diligently. A lot of times I will present information and it's kind of like the meat and potatoes, but Diana, she's the one that comes in and she puts all the garnishes on and dresses the plate up, and a little strawberry over here, a little color and a little, and by the way, she's going to light the candlelight, the candles. And so you have this beautiful beautiful presentation before you. So I'm kind of like the meat and potatoes, and then she just takes it, polishes it up, and just makes it palatable, you know. So and that's, you know, we work quite well together. And so let me say, during during this period for you, eliminating this in your life, Diana and I were also helping, working in the background and doing, you know, some energy work for you. And the only thing we could do is
Oh.
at your feet, yeah, and you would step into it. And again, you know, you were hearing the call, you were trusting that intuition, you know. So I can't speak for Diana, but I will. Sorry, Diana, because I'm here and you're not.
Oh no, Diana's here. Diana's here in the comments.
Yeah, in the comments, but
Oh,
you
she
can't
is?
hear that voice, so I'm taking advantage of
Oh,
this
they're going
one,
to
right?
hear her because I'm going to go through. There's a list of comments here, so I'm going to start out
But
with a few of them and all that.
well, wait, I gotta say something because I'm gonna
Okay,
speak for
well,
Diana.
say
I
it.
have to.
Say it, woman. Say
No,
it.
I'm gonna say it. You know, Diana and I truly encompassed you in love and grace. Honestly, we did. And so I just have to say that, you know, Diana, I can hear her right here going, yes, yes, we did. So it's a we.
Well, thank you
Go ahead, Paul.
very
Okay.
much. Very powerful people. I would like to
Thank-
say that I do, after this experience, believe in collective prayer. I have not been religious in my life. I believe that, like, you know, the universe and positivity. But I know that people throughout the world were praying that I would make it. I'm very well loved in this life. I'm very well blessed. And I know that I got down on my hands and knees and I prayed to make it through and to figure out why I had it. Not like why woe is me, but like what can I learn from this experience? But like I didn't know that y'all were praying too. So that prayer, okay. So that Shadow Boss, what we're talking about is energetic frequency. Prayers are being emitted in that positivity, that experience, that power of thought, that power of intention. We talk about that too. Like y'all did that, so thank you. Thank you,
Jackie,
Diana,
let Paul read some of those comments. Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
All right. There's a ton of comments. There's a ton of comments. A lot from Diana. Thank you, Jackie, for being so bravely vulnerable. Then we have love you. Of course, Diana is all about
I
love.
love you.
When we were doing the video, she said, Jackie, you're beautiful. So again, yes, you are beautiful with or without hair. You are just beautiful. Faithful friend said, courageous young lady. Okay.
Thank you.
Diana made a statement and said, the energy and power of exercising our free will to choose a different perspective on all that we go through. That which we go through, we grow through.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Some hands from Faithful
Thumbs,
Friend.
emojis.
Okay. Let's see. Faithful Friend also had a question. Did music help?
Yeah, and surprisingly, what came up is through every like MRI, they let you choose music sometimes. I listened to a group or band, I don't even know how you describe them, but HAUX, Hawks. And I'm still a person that uses Pandora. I don't care. But it's music did play a role. I think verbal conversation more stimulated my mind. I would listen to like audiobooks if I wasn't on Twitter, but music definitely was a beautiful tool.
All right. And Faithful Friend also said, ripple in the pond, buttery effect. Now, even though Faithful Friend said typo.
The
Butterfly.
butterfly effect.
Okay,
the buttery
there's a
effect
lot
is a good thing too. So anyway,
This goes
It's a
back
butterfly.
in Shadow Fox, when she and I were first getting to know each other. One of my symbols is the butterfly. And one of her daughter's symbols, that whenever she sees it, is the butterfly. The butterfly means more of like transition and transformative.
Yeah, my father is a butterfly and my daughter is the dragonfly. Yep, so it's my father that's the butterfly, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But it is transformation. It truly is. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then Diana was responding to, I think, Faithful Friend, to you on I forget what it was you were saying, but it was easy to do. You're beautiful physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And
I feel the same way about you, Diana.
And Faithful Friend gives some more thumbs up, applause, and heart emojis. So lots of love.
Yeah.
In our community, there were so many people that were just embracing you and enfolding you in graceful healing light and energy and prayers and all across the board. So and there's other
I'm blessed.
there's other people that at this point in time are on that same journey you are, and so we also incorporate and send the exact same energy to them, the encouragement, the love, the healing energy. So seriously, Diana is a strong component of sending out this beautiful, loving, graceful energy. Yeah, so I just have to say, like, it's an honor, a true honor to be able to hear kind of like a little bit of the backstory that maybe people that don't follow you on Twitter or who are not on Twitter, to be able to hear this message that you bring forward, the encouragement, the triumphing, into victory. And it starts with a headset and a mindset.
Totally. And love.
Yep.
Like, love is one of the most powerful forces in this universe.
Yes.
It's honestly like, I know there's certain reasons why I wanted to live, and it definitely was love, to experience the type of love that I had in my life, and not to live for other people, but to be able to live with them.
Yes.
So not necessarily for them, but with them in this life. And there's a quote that I think is powerful, is I ain't done yet. I was not done yet. I had a lot of things I want to do. And I designed my Oracle card deck while going through cancer. It's like we had to pick a category Oracle, but it's just like a positivity deck.
Yeah.
Because I wanted my art to live on, and I didn't know if I was. There were like many times in the journey that I didn't know if I would make it to my birthday. And I did.
Hey, happy birthday!
Not today. It's in July, but thank you.
Yes. Now, I want to bring another perspective to this triumph, into victory, because, as you know, my wife lost the battle to cancer.
Yep.
Now, there might be other people out there that are listening to your journey and are going, but we had all of that, Jackie. We had all that, Paul. We had all that, Shadow Fox. But I lost my mother, my sister, my daughter, okay? And we had all of that. And my wife was a fighter, okay? She was a warrior. And her mental state through all of this is that she's going to destroy that cancer within, and she is going to survive, okay? And sometimes the journey isn't just about the person that's experiencing it.
Yep.
Okay. And everybody's journey serves a purpose.
Yeah.
And my wife was a wonderful human being. And she was 61 years old, born in 61. Add those together, it's 122. She died January 22nd, 122. And, you know, sometimes that journey involves some heartache. It involves people developing a strength and going in another direction and all that. And through this experience that I had with my wife and the things that were different than the things that happened for you, gives me a different way of looking at things. But it's also brought me closer to Shadow Fox and spirituality and a new way of thinking about things, you know? So these journeys that we all go on, these journeys within, all of us have this different journey with different lessons. And the contracts that we make when we come here serve a purpose. And whatever my wife's contract was, served a purpose.
Oh, absolutely.
And I am a stronger human being for that. And then hearing your story, instead of being upset that, oh, Jackie made it and my wife didn't, because I know there's people out there that are thinking like that right now. And I want to change that perspective because I am so happy and just so amazed at how you have broken through and done it, and so happy for you that you have done this. And I hope that everybody else that goes through it also does that. I just want you to know that if you're on the side of it that I've experienced, just know that there's another purpose for you in this, and that what you lived through is a journey for you to understand down the road. And don't take the negativity about it, take the positiveness that comes from it, because that's what we're all about. We're all about that love, and that journey of love is so important, that journey of love. And I just can't press any more about any harder on that you know we have to continue to make that journey and keep triumphing into victory.
Yeah.
Paul, I wanted to.
And Paul, hold on a minute, Paul. I would just like to say, um, the courage and the growth that you've truly transitioned through. Um, know that your wife definitely had a major part in it, truly. And
Oh
so
yeah.
sometimes we can't see the super larger picture as we're moving through things. Sometimes it's like we're just freaking hanging on to the rails and hope we don't
Yes.
get freaking ditched somewhere, right? But the courage, I mean, I stand before, courageous, beautiful, courageous people. And that's what I see when I speak with anyone, because it takes courage to walk this earth plane. It takes
Yeah.
courage to, we come up against those brick walls. Some of us continue to whack our head against it until when we stop, we go, oh, it feels good when we stop. So it might be a good idea to stop. But truly, the courage and the tenacity that I see from both of you is just absolutely amazing. The growth, everybody sharing that part of the journey. My husband, uh, also, uh, well, let's just say, treatments that he's working with, more on the holistic aspect. And cancer will no longer be allowed to resonate here anywhere. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, this is my husband's journey also. So, when we're speaking about it, both Paul and I, in a sense, are those ones that kind of like get batted back and forth as this journey continues, and the parts that we can play in it and be supportive and so on and so forth. So, you know, please recognize that this is full encompassing all the way around. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's you personally or someone you love. Um, in any capacity, whether it's cancer or anything else on the planet, it could just be somebody having a spiritual disconnect and is totally out there. Well, guess what? This is where we come together as a
Correct.
community and we help. And so we're getting close up on time. And so, Jackie, I just like any closing remarks, and then Paul will send us off.
Thank you, Paul, for sharing your story. Um, it shows a lot of emotional intelligence that you processed through things, and no one's journey is the same in
Correct.
anything. And like, I
Yeah.
love that you're talking. My mom always calls it Earth School. Like, we're all in
Yeah.
Earth School. We're all gonna get our lessons. It's just how we deal with it. Um, I'm part of this nonprofit organization for breast cancer. I was selected to be a young advocate. And one of the things that in the interview that they asked me is like, if there's certain people that are further along. And my immediate answer was to learn. I don't know exactly what they're going to go through, but I would be curious how I could support them. And I think during someone's journey in life, emotional intelligence, but also effective communication, ask someone, how can I be there for you? What do you need from me? How can I go forward with this? And we all are going to respond differently. And I want to say thank you for everyone that's been there for me in my life. And like, thank you for my Twitter family. Like, there's been many times that you can get inspired or you can get comfort or support or all these different things. And Paul, thank you for having me on this podcast. Shadow Fox, thank you for asking me. I really do feel very honored to be on the show and to talk about a topic, to hear people's perspectives, and moving forward with how someone can go through life. And a lot of the time, you don't have to go through it alone. There are people that will love you.
Exactly.
And that's part of the thing that I wanted to bring up, even though we have two different things in relation to our journey. Both are inspiring. This is the point that I'm trying to get across. Both are inspiring. And if people would look at the good things that come from things, then we can bring that love and that energy together. And there are just a major amount of things that we can accomplish, we can manifest, we can do. And it's all about that unity. And I think that's what's so important about all of this, is being able to bring people together in unification with this spirit and energy. So I want to thank you for your story, and it means a lot to me, and you are an inspiration for me.
Oh.
So thank you.
Yes, and
thank
Paul,
you.
Paul, there are just a couple of comments as we close. Would you be able? I saw them, and I think and there was something that was actually, I think, towards you.
Faithful friend put, M. Scott Peck, the road less traveled, life is difficult.
Yes.
Is it the road less traveled, Robert Frost? What road less traveled by? I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
My caption cut out for like 30 seconds, so I didn't hear part of what happened.
That's okay.
Okay, that's okay. We're getting ready to close, Jackie.
Yep. And then Diana said, yes, our powerful beings chose to take a walk through this life in an amnesia state of who we truly are and the power of that being. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so just a short message, Paul, before we close it out.
Yes.
Journey Within will start at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. And, please, I invite everyone to come in. We do hold it on Wednesdays and Saturdays, same time.
Yep. And of course, getting back into this, I forgot to put the banners across the bottom at the beginning of the show. I got both
Yeah,
of
I
them
didn't
in
mention
here.
that.
I got them both in here at the end. So when people go through it, they can actually pause the video and stop and get all the information in relation to Jackie here, all of her Connect information, her shops, all the things that she has. So make sure that you check out Jackie, find her on Twitter or X, as it's now called, J Designs 2022. And then for in the moment tomorrow, we have the new show, Who Wrote the Bill, with Nick Nunley. So making sure you check us out there. Friday, we have T. Paul Wolfrick with the Vellum. And then on Saturday, we have Jeremy Baker with special guest Pam Hemphill, the J6 Granny. And we're going to talk about Project 2025 and dissect it. So feel free to check out that on Democratic Philosophy. And remember, all of my shows are now Monday through Saturday, and they are at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And remember, be kind, be happy, and make good things come your way. Thank you.
Awesome. Meow.
Meow.